It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary.
Hello, word nerds, and welcome to the dictionary hosted by me, Spencer. Recording during the end of the weird liminal time between Christmas and New Year's-ish, shortly before and shortly after, where no time exists whatsoever. And I've never known what day it was this whole, week or two. It's a very weird time. But it's Friday, and I'm back to work for a day after many days off. And then it's the weekend. Yay! Okay. Yes, I am a little out of it, a little tired, because everything has been all weird and wonky. The first word in this episode is Filipina. Capital Filipina. Noun from 1899. It is a Filipino girl or woman. It's Spanish. Of course, we've got the whole masculine-feminine thing going on here, and this will lead us directly into the next word. Sound effect is... The next word is Filipino. Yes, see? Ends in O, masculine. Ends in A, feminine. Filipino is a noun from circa 1889. Filipina, 1899. I think those must be when they came into English. It's weird that they didn't come into English at the same time. Number one for Filipino is a native of the Philippine Islands. And Philippine is spelled differently than Filipino or Filipina. It is spelled Philippippine. Ippupp. I don't know why the spelling changed. That's kind of weird, right? Number two, a citizen of the Republic of the Philippines. A Filipino. Number three, the Tagalog-based official language of the Republic of the Philippines is Filipino. They are speaking. The Filipinos are speaking Filipino, and some of them are Filipinas. Filipino is also an adjective. And as I mentioned, this is Spanish, and that's it. I guess it's their word for their country and their language and their people, I guess. The Philippine with the PH, though, that one might be the weird spelling, because I don't know. I'm trying to remember if the Spanish is using PH for a F sound. Maybe that's our way to spell it. I don't know. All right, now we have the word fill, which is going to fill up a good portion of this episode, starting with the first form of fill, verb from before the 12th century. Here's transitive. Number 1A, to put into as much as can be held or conveniently contained. Stuffing a thing full as much as it can possibly. You're filling. I'm going to fill this cup up with water as much as I possibly can, all the way up to the top. No more, no less. Once it goes over the top, then it's going to overflow, be overfilled, and then it's going to spill all over the place, and then I'm going to have to clean it up, and I don't want to do that. I just want to drink it. We have an example. Oh, fill a cup with water. Fill it. But here's the thing. Usually when we say that, we don't mean literally fill it up as much, as high as it can possibly go. You fill it most of the way. Number 1B, to supply with a full complement, which is complement. The example is the class is filled. Are we talking about a class in school? To supply with a full complement. Well, I guess is that like the school is supplying the class with a full amount? The class is filled. The class is filled means that you cannot. There's no more seats available. All the spots have been taken up by people. 1C1. To cause to swell or billow. The example is wind filled the sails. Swell or billow. Not a lot of other things other than sails are getting swelled or billowed. Yeah, I can't think of any. Nope, just the sails. Oh, we have another example. Oh, no, that's for later. 1C2 is to trim to catch the wind, and the thing that you are trimming is the sail. So would you say, fill the sail? How do you do that? You have to turn it maybe to catch the wind. So they now use this term, this action, fill the sail, to, you're not telling the wind to fill the sail. The wind is just going to do what the wind is going to do. But you were like, I got to do something to put the sail into a position so the wind will fill it. So I am kind of doing the action. Interesting. 1D. Did I say 2C1 before? I don't know. I got confused with my numbers and my letters. Now we're on 1D. To raise the level of with fill. The example is filled land. But what's fill? What's the noun fill? I guess we're going to learn that in the next one. 1E is to repair the cavities of, and the things. The things that get the cavities are, of course, these teeth. Ooh, maybe I shouldn't have chomped my teeth so hard. Fill the teeth with cavities. Well, actually, no, it's to repair the cavities. Cavities are holes, so you can't fill, you do fill the cavities, but you don't fill it with cavities. You fill the cavities. You fill the holes with some stuff, so you don't got no cavities no more. I had a lot of cavities filled. It's not terrible, but it's not the most fun. Now we have 1F, to stop up. The synonym is obstruct, as in the example. Wreckage filled the channel. To stop up, to obstruct what? So this is a channel of water, a channel of something where you don't want things to be obstructed. A pipe would be a channel. Wreckage filled the channel. Car wreckage? Interesting. 1G. To stop up the interstices, crevices, or pores of with a foreign substance. Okay, I don't know what interstices. It looks like what? interstices. Interstices. Okay. You're filling up those or crevices or pores. And examples of where these things are in cloth, wood, or leather. Yes. And then you're taking another substance and you're filling those pores in the cloth, wood, or leather for some reason, because you don't want those to be open. You want them to be filled. Oh, we finally got to 2. 2A. Synonyms are feed and satiate. Like fill my belly with food. I'm starting to get a little hungry. I got a bagel over there that I'm going to eat when I'm done recording. Feed, satiate, fill. Fill my mouth with food. 2B. Synonyms are satisfy and fulfill. Fulfill. Fill until you're full. The example is fills all requirements. You have fulfilled, satisfied all the requirements when you filled out the application for financial aid to get into college. Very good. 2C, the synonyms, yes, we have a couple, are make out and complete. Now, I don't think this is the sucking, face kissing, making out. This is filling out. That's what we're talking about. Filling out, make out that form, complete that form. This is used without or in, as in fill out a form. Fill it out. Oh, When you got to go to apply for jobs, you got to fill out so many forms. It's no fun, but you got to do it. Also is in fill in the blanks. On your Scantron, do kids even do Scantron tests anymore? You got to fill in the hole completely and fully, just like when you're voting. You can't do a check mark, you can't do an X, you can't go over the lines, you got to stay in the lines, fill it in completely. Maybe with a number 2 pencil. Number 2D. To draw the playing cards necessary to complete. As in, we're talking about straight or flush in poker. Are you filling your straight, filling your flush when you had the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of a straight and you just needed a 5 or a jack to fill out the straight. Yeah, draw the playing cards necessary to complete your flush or straight. Number 3A, to occupy the whole of. That's W-H-O-L-E, the whole thing of. To occupy the whole of, as in smoke. Filled the room. Oh, we just had a couple of situations like that recently. Smoke filled the room. We were cooking something in our air fryer, and they were like small little things, and the pressure from the air fryer, the airflow made them fly up around, and then they got stuck to the heating element, and they got all cooked, and we had lots and lots of smoke, and that was no fun. And then another day there's a whole big group of us, and somebody was cooking, and I guess there was just a little bit too much smoke. We didn't even notice until the fire alarm went off, and we said, whoa, this is sort of filled with smoke, so let's get rid of it. That was fun. We are on now 3B. To spread through. The example is music filled the air. Music filled the air in his brain constantly. I'm kind of tired today. 3C. To make full, as in a mind filled with fantasies. Filled with fantasies, I don't know. I think it's fun to have some fantasies, but you got to have the balance of living in the real world and living in the fantasy world. What else? Anything to make full? Yep, that's just a mind full then filled with fantasies. There must be an etymological connection between full and fill. Number 4A, to possess and perform the duties of. The synonym is hold. The example is fill an office. So you've got a job. You hold that position. You have filled that position, so you have to do the duties of that job. Do your duties. 4B, to place a person in. As in, fill a vacancy. Maybe there was a vacancy in a job. You got to fill the vacancy so they can fill that office. 5. To supply as directed, as in, fill a prescription. You got to go get some drugs from the pharmacy to help you with your cold, your flu, your whatever it is. You got some physical ailment. You got to go fill a prescription. You are not filling the prescription, the physical action of it. The pharmacist, they are the one who is putting the pills, the liquids in the thing, and then you get to take it. I think that's it for that. To supply as directed. You've been directed by your doctor to go take this prescription, so you got to supply. It's a kind of funny one. Number 6. To recover the surface of with a layer of precious metal. There's no example. To cover the surface of with a layer of precious metal. So you're taking that precious metal and you're filling the surface? Covering the surface? Fill? I don't know. I need an example. Intransitive is to become full. That's it. Phrase, fill one's shoes. and that means to take over one's job, position, or responsibilities. Gonna fill you. Oh, you got some big shoes to fill, but my feet are only a size 4. Well, I meant metaphorically. Fill one's shoes. I got nothing. My brain is a fry. A fry. I had some fries yesterday. Yeah, that's it. I hope no one has to fill my shoes for this podcast. It would be great for me to finish this myself. Let's see if I can make it. The etymology says this is akin to the Old English word full, which means full, and it turned into fill. If you want something full, you got to do the action of filling. Fill the sails. Was that my sound? Now we have the second form of fill, noun from before the 12th century. Number 1, a full supply, but especially a quantity that satisfies or satiates, as in, eat your fill. Eat your fill means that is the amount of food that you will need to eat to be full of food. Eat your fill. Sometimes I eat more than my fill, and I probably should eat a little bit less. I don't need so much food. I'm working on bringing the amounts of food down a little bit. Number 2, something that fills, as to a material used to fill a receptacle, cavity, passage, or low place. If that place is low and you want to fill it to make it high, then the stuff that you're putting in there is the fill. When you're getting your cavities filled, what are you putting in there? A fill. That's it. Number 2, B. A bit of instrumental music that fills the pauses between phrases, as of a vocalist or soloist. So, some filler music. Sometimes the drums got to do a drum fill when you're playing. Just to fill in the little spots here and there with some instrumental stuff. 2C. Artificial light used in photography to reduce or eliminate shadows, and this is often used attributively, as in fill flash. Let's see, real quick lighting discussion. Usually you have a key light, which is going to provide the majority of the light on your subject, on your thing. And usually it comes from, maybe near the camera, maybe up high or something. That's the key light. But that's going to create some shadows on the other side. And so like, that's my key light. And this light over here is kind of acting as a fill. So there's some shadows. We're like, maybe they're kind of too harsh. We want some shadows, but not as much shadows. So we need to fill in this side. Fill this side with light. Makes sense. Okay, very good. Now you are an expert at lighting. Anything else? Nope, I think that's it. So we're going to go fill away. 2 words. Intransitive verb from 1645. Number 1, to trim a sail to catch the wind. So I guess to trim the sail is to adjust the sail. So we talked about this before, so it can get filled with wind. But I guess you, in addition to saying fill the sail, you also say fill, or just fill away. Maybe if there's no sail there, you just say fill away. Fill? Hey, Phil, can you go fill away? Oh, yes, hello, I'm Phil. I will fill away, which means I will go move the sail, trim the sail so it can get filled with wind, because right now we're going backwards and we want to go forwards. Number 2, to proceed on the course, especially after being brought up in the wind. To proceed on the course. Oh, so I guess once you've done that action of filling the sail is filled with wind, and then you are going on the proper course, then you have filled away. Sure. Okay. The second, no. We first need to do the first form of the word filler. Noun from the 15th century. It's just one that fills, but lots of sub-definitions. A substance added to a product as to increase bulk, weight, viscosity, opacity, or strength. You know, in America, a lot of our foods have fillers, and I think that they are unnecessary. The food laws here are ridiculous. Milk is a big filler of foods. For some reason, things that should not have milk or dairy have it in there. And you're like, what? Come on. Why? We don't need this stuff. This is unhealthy stuff. It's just filler. B, a composition used to fill the pores and grain, especially of a wood surface, before painting or varnishing. I guess you want your wood to be just flat. No holes, no pores. So you gotta put some filler in there. Some wood filler. You can go to the store and buy wood filler. C is where we're at. A piece used to cover or fill in a space between two parts of a structure. There's a structure here and a structure here, and they've got a hole, a space in between them. And you're like, nah, I don't want that space there. I gotta fill it in with something. What am I gonna fill it in with? A filler. A piece used to cover or fill in a space. That's it. D, tobacco used to form the core of a cigar. The cigar's got to have something. What are you smoking? It's a tobacco leaf, but what's inside? You can't just smoke a hole. Go smoke a hole. No, it's got to be filled with something. So the tobacco is the filler. But don't smoke. Come on. E, material used to fill extra space in a column or page of a newspaper or magazine, or to increase the size of a work. As a book. If you want your book to be 3,000 pages, but you're only at 200 pages, then you have to put a lot of filler in there. I don't know why you want your book to be 3,000 pages, but it's some magic number that you like. F, a pack of paper for a loose leaf notebook. You're going to fill your loose leaf notebook with some paper. It's the filler. That's it. Number G, a sound, word, or phrase, as the phrase, you know, used to fill pauses in speaking. Oh, this is a big one. I mean, of course, there's also like the ums and the ahs and stuff like that. But you know, I hear people say this all the time. Do I say this? I don't even know, But I do hear people say this, and I'm like, why do you say that? Are you looking for validation to see, unconsciously looking for validation to make sure that you're right, to make sure that you're not crazy, to see if somebody feels the same way as you? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It became this weird filler that we do unconsciously. And I if you just listen, just pay attention to when people are talking, and people have like a certain, I think I say like a lot. I'm just one of those types of people. But they have a filler word, a filler phrase that they use a lot. And it's interesting once you notice it and you pay attention to it. It's kind of hard not to hear it anymore, I think. I got lots of fillers when I'm doing this podcast. Okay, what else? Anything else? Anything else? No, just a few more words. The second form of filler is a noun from 1904. It says see forint, Forint, at the money table. So I guess it changed names, or it's just another name, forint and filler. It's a kind of money. It does say that this is from the Hungarian word filer. Not sure how they pronounce that, but so I guess it's some Hungarian money. Now we have fillet. You can also, in 2B, you can also say fillet or fillet, and it is spelled Fillet, phone home. Noun from the 14th century. Number 1, a ribbon or narrow strip of material used especially as a headband. It's a fillet? Do I have, well, I do have this still. I can, this can be my fillet. It's kind of tight though, so this is interesting. Oh, this could just cut off all my, ooh, that's a good look actually. I don't know. Kind of liking that. I think this should be my new fashion statement. Ooh, this might feel weird after a while though. I can already feel it cutting off the blood or something. Hey, let's see what happens. It's my fillet. Number 2A is a thin, narrow strip of material. Just, that's it. It's just this narrow strip of material is a fillet? I wonder, this must be related to fillet. If it's just a square mesh, no, maybe, I don't know. You'd think it would be. 2B, is that where we're at? I think so. A piece or slice of boneless meat or fish, especially the tenderloin of beef. And if we backtrack to the previous episode, we had filet mignon. It says wasn't this the one that said it came from filet, or was that a different one? Literally, oh, dainty filet, that's what it was. So it's the piece of the tenderloin, the tenderloin of beef, and it's dainty. It's the little piece, the little part of it. Number 3A, a concave junction formed where two surfaces meet as at an angle. Concave so that's the fillet? Huh? When two things meet at an angle? Okay. I guess so. This makes no sense to me. Maybe it's the fillet that I'm wearing. Okay. Number 3B, a strip that gives a rounded appearance to such a junction. Also, a strip to reinforce the corner where two surfaces meet. Is this like at a wall, a ceiling? Do I have any fillets here? You have to fill it with something. Oh, we got a crack when we put those two pieces together. There was a crack. Well, let's fill it. Fill it with what? Fill it with a fillet? That must be where the word came from. Let's see. Now, what else we got? Number 4, a narrow, flat architectural member. A narrow, flat architectural member. A thing on a building that's narrow and flat. 4A, more specifically, a flat molding separating others. Is it like a flat molding separating others? It's showing that those are different. So we got to put in a fillet in between. And I don't know. I don't know my moldings. I don't know my architectural members. 4B, the space between two flutings in a shaft. Two flutings in a shaft. That could go somewhere. All right, what is the etymology for this one? It is from Middle English, fillet, Anglo-French, diminutive of fil, which means thread, and that's why we got this long strip of things. That's where it comes from. From the Latin filum, and there's more at the word file. And I think it's time to take the fillet off my head because it was a little too much. Whew. I guess that's it. I thought there would be more interesting etymology, but it seems like it's just comes down to this small things or something. The second form of, oh, by the way, real quick, we have to go backtrack real quick and just say very specifically, to be was a piece or slice of boneless meat, blah, blah, blah. And that's the one where you say fillet for some reason. Now, the second form of fillet is actually, let's see, fillet. And in number 2, you can say fillet or fillet. This is a transitive verb from 1604. Number 1, to bind, furnish, or adorn with, or as if with a fillet. Fillet. You're filleting with the fillet. 2, to cut into fillets. And one more word for this episode. Our last word is fillet weld. I believe that is how it's pronounced. It doesn't tell me. Fillet. Second word is weld. Weld. Well, I can already think about what this is, but let's read it officially. Noun from 1926. A weld of approximately triangular cross-section used to join two pieces, especially perpendicularly. You want to join two pieces like this, say, perpendicularly to each other, and this point where my fingers are touching, that's where you got to connect them with a weld. You're doing some metal welding. And so it's a triangular cross section. I don't really know that. And it's a fillet because you got to fill it with something with the welding stuff. I did a little bit of welding in a class in high school. And so maybe I did a fillet weld. I must have done a fillet weld. I don't remember what it was called. Okay, that's it. Let's pick a word of the episode. And then I might need to call in sick because I don't feel great. Okay, today we had Filipina, Filipino, fill away, filler, fillet, and fillet weld. What do I want to pick? I didn't love any of these. No, it's not that. That's not the case. Let's pick fillet weld as the word of the episode. Fillet welds hold things together. Get some welding gear and do a fillet weld. That was great. Great. Okay, now, a couple of more movies. I'm talking about 2024 movies that we watch still. I'm way back then in the past. The Man in the White Van. This was just a very timely movie about a young girl, a teenager, who is kind of being stalked by a guy in a white van, and that's all I want to say. It was good. It was more like, let's talk about this thing that is happening where people aren't really believing you, but this thing is happening, and yeah, not a great situation. And then we watched Queer, which I guess is based on a William S. Burroughs story novel. I don't know William S. Burroughs, but he wrote it, and it was, I'm sure, as usual, the book is probably better and filled out with more information, but it, for what it is, telling the story about a guy in Cuba. Where was he? Mexico? I don't remember where he was, but he loves doing a lot of drinking and other stuff. That's all you need to know right now. Okay, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for checking this show out, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.